a massive Arctic weather system, nicknamed the Northern Fury by meteorologists, has blanketed the entirety of Scotland in record-breaking snowfall, bringing the nation to a virtual standstill on Thursday, January 8, 2026. The Met Office has issued rare red weather warnings for the Highlands, Aberdeenshire, and the Central Belt. This unprecedented event is the result of a bomb cyclone over the North Sea colliding with an intensified polar vortex, pushing temperatures as low as -18 degrees Celsius in Braemar. In just 24 hours, some regions have recorded over 50 centimeters of fresh snowfall, with drifts reaching up to 2 meters in mountainous areas. The M8 motorway between Edinburgh and Glasgow was closed overnight after hundreds of motorists became stranded. The Traffic Scotland service reported that the A9 remains impassable, with snowplows struggling to keep up with the rate of accumulation. ScotRail has suspended all services north of Perth. Significant signalling failures caused by freezing rain, which preceded the snow, have rendered the West Highland Line inoperable. Edinburgh and Glasgow Airports have grounded all flights to clear runways. Passengers are advised to check flight statuses via the Edinburgh Airport official site. Scottish and Southern electricity networks reported that approximately 45,000 homes are without power due to heavy snow snapping over headlines and felling trees. The Scottish government has convened a COBRA meeting to coordinate the emergency response. First Minister Humza Yousaf, in this 2026 scenario, has urged citizens to stay at home and avoid all non-essential travel. Mountain rescue teams have been deployed to assist rural communities in the Cairngorms who have been cut off from the national grid and food supplies. Local warm hubs have been established in community centers equipped with generators to provide shelter for the elderly and vulnerable. Economists warn that the Great Freeze of 2026 could cost the Scottish economy upwards of £150 million per day. The hospitality sector, already struggling with seasonal fluctuations, has seen a wave of cancellations. However, Scottish ski resorts like Glenshee and Lecht are anticipating a record-breaking season once the storm subsides and access roads are cleared. While heavy snow in Scotland is not uncommon, the intensity of this 2026 storm highlights the increasing volatility of North Atlantic weather patterns. Experts from the University of Edinburgh suggest that while global temperatures are rising, the disruption of the jet stream is making these extreme cold snaps more frequent and severe when they do occur. The Met Office predicts the heavy snowfall will continue through Friday morning before a slow thaw begins over the weekend. However, this brings a secondary threat: flood warnings. As the snow melts rapidly, the Scottish Environment Protection Agency has warned that the River Tay and River Forth may burst their banks. Residents are encouraged to monitor the BBC Scotland weather page for real-time updates and to check on neighbours. Meanwhile, the Grampian region of Scotland is currently grappling with what meteorologists are calling a once-in-a-generation cryogenic event. A powerful meteorological phenomenon, fueled by a displaced polar vortex, has dumped record-breaking levels of snow across Aberdeenshire, Moray, and the city of Aberdeen, effectively isolating the northeast from the rest. According to the Met Office, the storm, officially named Storm Alva, intensified rapidly over the North Sea before making landfall late Wednesday night. By 8 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time this morning, the weather station at Braemar recorded a staggering 65 centimeters of fresh snowfall in less than 12 hours, with temperatures plummeting to a bone-chilling -21 degrees Celsius, the lowest recorded in the region since the legendary winter of 1982. The unique geography of the Grampian Mountains has exacerbated the situation. Orographic lift has forced moisture-rich Arctic air to rise and condense rapidly, resulting in localized snow bursts, where visibility dropped to less than 5 meters. completely blocked at the Laurencekirk junction due to jackknifed HGVs and snowdrifts reaching 1.5 meters. Several sections in Moray are buried under significant drifts, particularly near Keith and Huntley. The Cairnwell Pass and Lecht Road were closed within minutes of the storm's onset and are expected to remain shut for at least 72 hours. Aberdeen International Airport has suspended all flight operations. Ground crews are working in 24-hour shifts using specialized thermal de-icing technology, but the rate of accumulation is currently outstripping the clearing capacity. Passengers are urged to monitor updates via the Aberdeen Airport live flight tracker. The heavy, wet nature of the initial snowfall, followed by a flash freeze, has caused catastrophic damage to the power infrastructure. Scottish and Southern Electricity Networks reports that over 38,000 customers across the Grampian region are currently without power. The weight of the ice has snapped high-voltage transmission lines in rural Buchan and the Geary area. In the coastal towns of Banff and Macduff, the situation is compounded by thundersnow, where lightning strikes have damaged local substations. SSEN has activated its Priority Services Register to prioritize the restoration of power to nursing homes and medical facilities. The Scottish Government has declared a major incident for the Grampian region. Under Operation Highland Shield, the British Army has been mobilised to assist the Police Scotland North Command. Specialised 4x4 ambulances and tracked vehicles are the only means of transport currently reaching inland villages like Alford and Ballater. Mountain rescue teams from Braemar and Aberdeen are conducting welfare checks on isolated farms, where there are fears that livestock may be buried under drifts. The economic toll is projected to be immense. The Port of Aberdeen, a critical hub for the North Sea energy sector, has restricted vessel movements, delaying vital supply runs to offshore platforms. Schools across Aberdeenshire Council and Moray Council have been closed until at least the following Monday, shifting to remote learning where power is available. However, the spirit of the North remains unbroken. Community centres in Peterhead and Inverary have transformed into warm hubs, utilising wood-burning stoves and communal kitchens to feed those without heating. While the snowfall is the immediate threat, the Scottish Environment Protection Agency is already looking ahead with concern. A projected rapid thaw scheduled for Sunday could lead to severe snowmelt flooding along the River Dee and River Don. Residents in flood-prone areas are advised to prepare sandbags and move valuables to higher floors. Meanwhile, the Met Office has taken the unprecedented step of issuing red weather warnings for snow and ice across 4 major regions simultaneously: Scotland, Northern England, the Midlands, and Southeast Wales. The crisis was triggered by a sudden stratospheric warming event in late December 2025, which fractured the polar vortex. This allowed a massive block of high pressure over Scandinavia to funnel frigid Siberian air across the North Sea, colliding with a moisture-heavy Atlantic depression. The result is a persistent lake-effect snow machine that has dropped over 40 centimeters of snow in London and up to 90 centimeters in the Scottish Highlands within 48 hours. National Highways has officially closed the M1, M6, and M25 motorways in several sections due to hundreds of stranded heavy goods vehicles and dangerously low visibility. Abandoned cars litter the A1M, creating obstacles for snowplows and emergency responders. Network Rail has suspended all services on the East Coast Main Line and West Coast Main Line. Freezing rain followed by heavy snow has caused ice over on third rails and overhead lines, rendering electric trains inoperable. London Heathrow, Gatwick, and Manchester airports have cancelled over 1,500 flights. While runways are being cleared, the extreme cold has frozen de-icing fluid supplies, making takeoffs impossible. Travelers are urged to check the Heathrow live status before attempting to travel to terminals. The timing of the storm has put immense pressure on the UK's energy grid. National Grid ESO reported a record-breaking surge in electricity demand as temperatures dropped to minus 15 degrees Celsius in rural parts of England. Over 120,000 households in the southwest and East Anglia are currently without power. Heavy snow accumulation on power lines has caused line galloping, leading to widespread mechanical failures. Engineers from UK power networks are working in treacherous conditions, but some rural communities may remain without heating for the next 72 hours. Prime Minister, in 2026, has chaired an emergency COBRA meeting, activating Operation Boreas. This involves the deployment of 3,000 personnel from the British Army to assist local councils in distributing food, medicine, and blankets to vulnerable residents. The NHS has declared a national Level 4 incident, the highest state of alert. Non-urgent surgeries have been postponed to prioritize cold weather-related injuries and respiratory issues. Public health officials are urging citizens to use the NHS 111 online service for non-life-threatening advice to keep emergency lines free. Early estimates from the City of London suggest the storm is costing the UK economy approximately £1.2 billion per day in lost productivity, retail revenue, and logistical delays. The just-in-time supply chains for supermarkets have been disrupted, leading to panic buying and empty shelves in parts of the Midlands and the North. While the snow is expected to ease by Saturday, the Environment Agency has already issued a stern warning. A projected spike in temperatures next week will trigger a rapid thaw. Combined with predicted heavy rainfall, this creates a high risk of catastrophic flash flooding in the Severn and Thames valleys. As the United Kingdom remains shrouded in white, the resilience of its people and infrastructure is being tested to the limit. This is not just a winter storm. It is a historic climate event that will be studied for decades to come.